Well, we got a couple things going on out in the garden today for kind of spring prep, which never ends, but obviously, you see what I'm getting at. I have started to expand the garden. I made a little video about tilling all this subsoil up, trying to just break it up a little deeper. I didn't get the radish put on like I would have liked to back in November, so it's just kind of a scratch and go this year on this extension. So I went through with the harrow on the back of the tractor here and clawed it nice and deep, and then we promptly got a couple days of rain and now it's hard crusted on top again. I'm hoping some of that loosening kept effect underneath, but ultimately I'm going to go over it with way more cow manure than I did last year. Over here in this plot last year I was pretty sparse in my opinion. I mean, the cow manure is maybe 4 to 6 inches thick that I put on there. I'm dumping this on like 10 to 12 inches thick, you know, whatever. I've got more or less an unlimited supply next door. I'm gonna try to take full advantage and just say, you know what, just lay it on thick, why not? So I've got this portion of the old garden tarped off, and the idea of course was to solarize it and kill the weeds. I just pulled up that corner over there to take a peek underneath. It's been tarped for about a week, I guess, week and a half, so I'm not exactly sure, but it hasn't been real hot. It's been pretty cool and cloudy, so it hasn't gotten too hot under the plastic. I just pulled up the corner and looked underneath, and the plants are just as green as can be. Like I mean, it's like the tarp's not even on them. I don't understand it. So I may have to run the tiller through it. I really didn't want to, but if I can't get the weeds to die off like I'm hoping soon enough, then I'm gonna have to. I'm thinking right now, I'm gonna untarp that first big section over there where the girls are on. You can kind of see the boards running across the middle of it there. I'm gonna untarp that half and flip that tarp over to here to hit this middle section and get it covered up and you know, cooking more or less, and then see about going ahead and planting in that section there. I want to start planting in the new stuff just because it's new and exciting, but I'll have to see how the tarp, when I pull the tarp off that side, see how much of this it covers up. So anyway, that's it for the garden itself. Just trying to get the extension done, just so we can plant gobs more plants. We tried to start a bunch of seedling tomatoes and peppers. They're not coming up at all, which is really frustrating. They've been planted for 2 weeks and no real sign of any growth on those. I don't know what's going on with that. I think they're just too cold. Need to get them in a greenhouse. This is the other little project that's starting next door, which is going to be our little tree seedling nursery. We've got 1,000 trees coming from MDC, and I'll have to talk about that in another video. But anyway, oh, so the compost pile, as far as the new garden, the old composted cow manure from my neighbor, that little black pile there is all that's left. But we've got quite the pile from the goats building up. It's not ready to use at all yet, but I'm hoping to turn it, you know, about, I don't know, once a week or once every other week. I'll get it just kind of shoved around with a tractor and get it turned and hopefully get it broken down. And there's still plenty of it coming. The goats they are not shy about their output. So we got plenty of that, plenty more to come. So we'll be adding our own on-farm composted material to the stuff from the neighbor. But anyway, just figured I'd show you over here by the Connex, maybe you can see a couple black pots over there. We did buy 6 more fruit trees. A couple of my apple trees just aren't making it. I don't understand why. My Granny Smith apples, they made it 2 years, and then it looks like now this year they didn't make it. Let me look it up. Yeah, that seems pretty dead to me. The whole thing is just dead. It's not dormant, it's dead. So I bought 2 more. I think I got some Anna apples, which are like a reddish yellow, I think. And then I think I got some golden Dorsets, which are just yellows. But that little tree over there, I think was a little apple. I can't remember anymore. Maybe it was a little, I don't remember. Oh, The girls are very upset because they decided to play in water and then they got wet. Shocker. That's a pair. I think it's still alive. That pair over there on the corner died. Both my Granny Smiths have died. This was a nectarine, I think. Obviously dead. This one over here was a nectarine. It's been dead since last year. I knew it was dead. I don't know. These were all ones that I planted. Yeah. These were all ones that I planted, I think, by just digging a shallow hole. I don't remember where it was that I brought in the post hole digger and bored down 4 feet and then filled it all with manure. But this is a peach. There's a peach over there. The peaches all seem to be doing okay. They bloomed all winter long. Silly things. They keep blooming and dying, blooming, not dying, but blooming and frosting, blooming and frosting. But hey, look. Hey, look. We got a little peach on, so let's hope it doesn't freeze too hard and kill that. Oh, what else? The figs and apples and whatnot that are over there, I don't really know how they're doing. But the peaches are at least surviving, so maybe we'll end up just being peach farmers. I'd really like to have some apples. Hey, girls! Girls! Hey, what? Oh, she got stung by a stinging nettle. I might have to look into that. Anyway, we got two little variegated lemons. They seem to be doing okay. They're not really growing a whole lot, but they're at least not dying. So, anyway, I don't see them blooming. They should be blooming this time of year, but we'll see what comes of those. Anyway, that's just a little update on how things are going in the garden. Working on the big expansion and working on getting things planted for this year. Well, we are trying the potato thing again this year. Potatoes obviously are more of a northern crop, but I believe we can grow them down here in the south. They grow okay. Just got to make sure our soil's right. Last year we had pretty, to put it nicely, pretty piss poor results on the potatoes. I was not impressed. You can go back and look at that video. I'll try to link it here when I remember to. But last year we planted, I think, like 5 pounds of blues and maybe 10 pounds or 15 pounds of reds. I think it was like 10. And my numbers might even be wrong there. But we planted those blue potatoes just because we thought, oh, they'll be cool, they'll be fun to have blue potatoes. And they were worthless. I don't want to blame the potato. It may have just been our soil, but they did not do well. The biggest one was the size of a chicken egg, and pretty much anything that got to that size rotted. We pulled out maybe 1 or 2. They were all full of bug holes. Just bad. The potatoes looked good growing, but like the plants looked good, but the tubers, or not the tubers, but the potato itself was just bad. Anyway, this year we've gone back with just 20 pounds of straight reds. The reds last year did okay. Did phenomenal compared to the blues. So this year we went with straight 20 pounds of reds. Maybe a little aggressive, but honestly, probably not. I did get a little aggressive with my row spacing. Now that I'm trying to hill them up, I see that they're far too close. I can barely get any material to actually hill them up. I may have to end up, and I'm gonna do this, I was gonna do this anyway, but coming in between with straw, and we'll let the straw mulch kind of do the act of otherwise being hilled up. The whole point with hilling them up is just to get more of that stem buried up and make sure that your potatoes aren't peeking through, and then getting sunburned. I think if they get green by the sun, it makes them toxic somehow. I don't remember. Anyway, so I'm just going through now, just doing my best I can to hill them up. These are, I honestly don't know when I planted these, less than a month. So they're looking pretty good, to be honest. This is in the garden extension, so that is all of last year's garden under tarp. This is the first extension that I did this year. Something I believe I'm gonna do, I say the first extension, it's the only extension I've done this year because I ran out of compost from the neighbors. But all of this behind me looks kind of tilled up, ideally it's supposed to all be garden expansion. With this whole coronavirus nonsense, I better get all of it. It wouldn't hurt. Hey, times like these, they really make you think about being more prepared. And I feel like we are so far behind, even though we have a deep well and we have a garden and we have livestock and we have bees and all these other assets. I still feel like I'm not scared, to put it plainly, I'm not scared of getting the coronavirus. Who cares? I'm young and healthy. But the societal impact is kind of weird. Anyway, so yeah. So these are, like I said, about a month, I think, along. I don't even write down when we plant. Oh, yes, it was a month. We planted them on Valentine's Day. That's right. Valentine's Day or the day after. And today is March. Today's March 16th. I think the 16th. Yeah. So anyway, call it a month. Not looking too bad. I'm going to go ahead and get them all healed up, and then I'm going to go and get some pelletized calcium. Last year we had a very glaring calcium deficiency in the first part of the garden, which this composted cow manure is all from the same source, so I'd imagine it's also calcium deficient. Safe to assume. Doesn't hurt to add a little on there anyway. So we've still got some pelletized calcium left from last year. We'll go ahead and throw it on here, and then I need to get this set up with the overhead sprinkler to start getting this stuff watered, keep it busy. In theory, I might be leaving town in less than a week for a new job. We'll see. Oil field's not looking too hot. Oil's at like 28 bucks a barrel today, which is pretty bad. So who knows? They haven't called and told me yet that the job is not going to happen, but I just have this feeling that it might not happen. Yeah, anyway, let's get this healed up. Let's get some calcium on it, and I don't know if I'll get it straw mulched today or not. I'd like to, but I might find something else to occupy my time. We'll see.